Oh, it's nighttime. Nice. Alright, where am I? Down here. Lighthouse is straight ahead. Let's figure out where I want to fucking go first.
Alright, yeah, so at this point, I didn't know if I wanted to go. I was thinking launch site, but then I saw how satellite and sewer branch were so close together. So I decided to, plop myself down. Yep, right there. There it is. Alright, sun was at this point. I was coming down, just trying to get up to where I was trying to go. And I was like, you know what, let me go see if I can get some scrap or something. Just anything from the road. And on my way down, just happened to look over and see this little bag full of cloth. And let me tell you something, when you're starting out, cloth has to be one of the most important things, because just like I'm doing now, you have to make your sleeping bag, you have to get your stash made, pretty much anything you need so you don't have to spawn at the beach over and over again. So this was the jackpot. So then a few minutes after I picked up that cloth, ended up running up on some stone. Now these right here are very important, because you gotta have good stone to be able to make your base, make it so people can't get in, all that sort of stuff. But usually you can get tools. Now right now I don't have the tools, so I'm checking out to see what I need. Once you have enough to make stone tools, it makes it so you get a lot more at once. So 200 wood, 100 stone, and that's just for this server. Now of course, to get wood, you gotta hit it with a rock, apparently. But yeah, you go up to these things. If you hit the red mark, it makes it so that you do get a little bit extra compared to then if you don't hit the red mark, which is cool, because I mean it gives you like a little mini game to do. So now I have enough wood to make my stone tools. I'm gonna start making the hatchet. Like down in the bottom right corner, you can see it says 10, 9, 8, 7. So it does take a couple seconds to get made, but once you get it made, you're good to go start getting a lot more wood. And then you can do the same thing with a pickaxe. And I'm starving and I'm getting a little radiation, but good news is I'm pretty much to where I want to be. Another cool thing is too, if you run up to these kind of like brown crates, the brown crates are always going to be filled with random scrap or random items like mailboxes. Sometimes you can get lucky, get a garage door, you can get a bunch of random stuff from it. Those very important. Now you're going to come up here, place your sleeping bag. You can sort of just put it wherever. This is just going to be like your stepping off point to build your base and do all that sort of stuff. And I'm also making a stash just so I can kind of have somewhere to like hide all my stuff for the first little bit, just because when you're starting out, it's one of those things where you don't have anywhere to put your stuff. So this makes it so you can actually put this little thing on the ground, right? And then you can fill it up with stuff, throw all your important stuff in there to build your base. And then you just click hide and boom, it's buried. So if you do want to get into it again, you can go back and just sort of look at it and it'll open up, come up out of the ground, then you can take everything out. Next thing you want to do is go around, get some food, sort of get your basic stuff, check out the neighborhood, see who's living there. One of my favorite things to do is make sure like whoever you are building next to, that it looks like they're not too far along, because if you get next to somebody that's doing really good, you're in trouble, bud. Alright, so then once you get your wood, you want to get these two things. The blue one that I clicked is your building plan. Your building plan is going to make it so that you're able to actually build your base, put down your foundations, walls, door frames, put your ceiling on, just sort of all your stuff you need to build somewhere. The other thing I made was the hammer, as you can see down in the right hand corner. The hammer is what makes it so you can upgrade it. So once you have a hammer, makes it so like at first it's going to be twig. Use that hammer, you can actually upgrade it to wood, you can upgrade to stone, then you can upgrade to sheet metal, armored, all that. And you can skip the actual levels, so like you can go straight from twig to stone or straight from twig to metal. Just depends on what you have in your inventory. Alright, so the next thing you're going to make is this thing. It's called the tool cupboard, also known as a TC in the game. Tool cupboard is where you're going to keep all your stuff to upkeep the base. So pretty much, let's say you make a wooden base, you're going to need some wood to keep that base running. You can't just build a gigantic base and not have anything there to support it. So let's say you build a big wood base, it's going to need a couple hundred wood per day. If you build a smaller base, I mean, you could use a little bit of wood and stretch it out for a few days. So I'll get more in depth on that in the future. Alright, and then once you get to the point where you're ready to build, you switch over to your building plan, which will pop this little bad boy up, which is your square foundations. Once you get those, you're going to want to put up a doorway, throw some walls up, you know, just build like a basic 2x2. Oh, here comes some people. Yeah, you really want to be on edge because when you're building, people know you have a lot of stuff. Well, at least enough to build a base. And sometimes they'll come through and try to mess with you and take your things, but you just got to be quick about it. Go through, select all your walls, put those in. This right here, I'm making that an airlock, which makes it so I can go in and out of my base without letting, like if I accidentally leave the door open, I don't have to worry about people ramming in there. Throw the roofs on, and then you're going to want to go through, switch to your hammer. Sure can do it. And when you go through, you just do upgrade to wood. That'll make it so that people can't break it down, because that twig, people can actually hit a few times, and it's going to make it so they can just get right in. Then I also have a door made. You're going to want to go ahead and throw your door on, throw a lock on, lock it, and there you go. You're pretty much secure. The last thing you're going to want to do is put up your tool cupboard or your TC. You go ahead, it's already crafted, and you're just going to slap it down in a corner somewhere. And another thing you're going to want to do is put some wood in just to make sure that you're actually secure. So it says it costs 217 wood per hour. I just put a little bit in there. It'll make it so I'm good for a day or two. Also goes for doors. So any doors you put up, if you put up wooden doors, you're going to need wood to support those. If you put up metal doors, you're going to need metal to support that. And then once my key lock's made, we're going to lock this, because if somebody can get in here, they can just go right in there and take all your stuff. So you need to lock it yourself. So it makes it so pretty much you're the only one that can get in. If you are not playing solo, if you are playing with people, you're going to want to go through and put a metal number lock on there. But the metal number lock is going to be, I think it's 100 metal on this server, which we don't have metal yet. So we'll get into that later, but I'm playing solo, so I only need a single lock. Alright, now what I'm doing right here is I'm throwing my airlock on. Now you do want to make sure that the one door opens in and the other door opens out. Because what that's going to do is create like a little pocket where you'll be able to see through, but nobody will be able to get through. And the only way they'd be able to get through both those doors is they would have to destroy both of them, which is a lot more difficult than if you just left both doors open and just let them walk right in. Alright, then we're going to run back over to our stash. Go ahead and look at it, shake the camera. Boom, grab all of our stuff out of it. And then we just head right back over. But don't forget to hide your stash after, because you can use that like in worst case scenario type deal. Hide a couple things outside, like a gun or two, and make it so somebody does mess with you, you can just spawn out there, grab your stuff, good to go. Alright, and this is one other thing. When you're placing your sleeping bag, it turns that orange color. That just means that it'll be on the same bag timer as your other sleeping bag. So if you die within one of these sleeping bags, both of them will be put on a timer where you can't spawn at them for a certain amount of time. So if it turns blue, you can spawn either one. If it turns orange, they're both on the same timer. So this right here is an unfortunate series of events. I ended up running into my first people that I saw, really, and of course in the first 2 hours of the server being up and running, they both had guns, so really didn't have a chance. But after you die, you just select your sleeping bag and boom, you're back home. Alright, and another thing you want to keep an eye out for are these red barrels. The red barrels are actually going to be filled with crude oil and low-grade fuel. You do need low-grade fuel to be able to make a furnace, and you need a furnace to be able to get metal, so you can get metal doors and stuff like that. You'll also need metal and high-quality metal to be able to make guns and just all things like that. So very important. If you see red barrels, especially early game, you're going to want to pick those up, and then you can just store those right in your TC. On this server, I believe I need 50 to make a furnace. So, and then at this point, it's back to getting stone. And you'll do this for a while, especially when you're first setting up your base, just because you're going to have to get a lot. And usually people can hear you doing this, so they're going to mess with you a lot. So that's why I recommend walking around with a bow. At least have something to defend yourself. You have at least a shot. Alright, and this right here is going through, and we're going to upgrade some stuff. So you grab the stone, and then you go through, just say upgrade to stone, upgrade to stone. And I just do it little by little. So I mean, like, you can go through and do them all at once, but I only had enough to do the bases. Alright, so then after I went through and upgraded those foundations, I decided to go on a little scrap run, and boom, that right there is a metal pickaxe, boys and girls. And metal pickaxes are very nice because you can actually get a lot higher quantity of stone, metal, sulfur, pretty much anything you're going for. We're going to want to research that ASAP, because if we research it, then it makes it so we can actually make our own. Alright, and this right here, I'm running up to, these are metal nodes. Now, metal nodes are always going to look like this. They're kind of brown with a little bit of like shine in the middle of it. Another thing you want to look out for is when you're up in the mountains or in the snow. It's going to stay too cold, like 20 degrees Celsius or whatever. Biggest thing is, as long as you're close to your base, you can always run back. But if you are going to live up here, you're definitely going to want to have clothes, extra sets, all that sort of stuff, just because the cold does kind of take your health down little by little by little. So definitely stay warm out there. Alright, and the final touch, we're going to go ahead, make a little campfire, set her down, and boom, our base is good. We're secured, we're in here, we're ready to actually start doing stuff. Let's build up everything we got. We're going to throw some door frames in. Now, door frames are used for double doors, garage doors, that sort of thing, and you're going to want to remember to upgrade them, because if you leave that thing twig and then you use a metal door on it, it's not really going to do much, because they're just going to knock out your twig frame. Makes it so it's kind of pointless. But yeah, I'll be making I think I'm going to make a wood door here in a little bit. But once we get that wood door up, boom, that means that they have the 2 front doors plus that door in the back to go through to get to my stuff. Alright, so in this place I'm coming up on right now is actually the grocery store. Don't mind the helicopter in the back, that's the attack helicopter, somebody's taking that down. Get real good loot from that, you know what I'm saying? So when you come up in here, I'm doing my little crouch walk, makes it so you don't make footstep noises. You're going to come in here, and what you're really looking for is little green crates, or right here where I just looked is where a green card will spawn. And a green card is going to be something that makes it so you can go do the puzzles, and the puzzles make it so you get a lot more loot. And anytime you see a green bag like that, always check it, because that's a dead body that was left. Real great loot, especially if you run upon some crazy something. Like, look at that, bunch of free tools, some pants, just a bunch of good stuff. And then you want to hightail it out of there, because the attack helicopter's right there. Alright, and then once I got back to base, I decided to go out and try and find me some scrap, because scrap is really the name of the game at this point. You're trying to get as much scrap as possible so that you can get your workbench made and everything researched, just sort of get everything going. You're going to want to hit any barrels like this. They usually spawn on the roadside, or they'll be in the back of trucks, like that sort of thing. But if you look up along this little pathway, there's going to be a ton of them. But pretty much, you can take all the stuff that's in it, and if you don't need it, like the propane tanks or the pipes or anything like that, you're going to want to just go and recycle those, get your scrap out of them, and make it so that you're actually going to get something out of it. And do this for a while. So this is when I was just running around my base. Ran outside, I could hear a bunch of people running. I decided to check it out, and there's one. And a 2. And a 3. Oh wait, there's more. There's another one, and then you got another one up to the right. So you can tell this is kind of a high traffic area. There's a lot of people running around, and I mean the server just wiped a few hours before this, so everybody's just trying to fight and kind of find their way into where they're going to be. But you got to get that scrap, man. So you got to be out there pretty much hitting barrels, keeping an eye out, because like these red barrels, I need all this low grade so I can make my furnaces, because without furnaces you don't got metal doors, so you kind of just got to chance it and hope for the best. Worst case scenario, you lose your bow, you lose your little stone pickaxe, but I mean, I got so much stone and stuff back at the base, it doesn't even matter. I can go make more if I need to. And of course, like I said, there's people with guns out here, so you kind of want to keep an eye out. So this is a little bit later. I lost some fights before this, but I did kill a guy and get his jade bow, which is pretty cool. So homie decides to run up on me like this, start shooting at me like I was minding my business. I was doing my own stuff. So I had to go through and mess him up real quick. Going through, miss a couple of shots. He's sitting on top of the rock. Nothing. Oh, there's a hit. Give me his arrow, because I'm almost out. There we go. So technically, I went over here. And then, of course, he's gone. Don't know. He's got to be around here somewhere. Guess what? Peekaboo. Oh, you gonna run there? Oh, don't move. Boom. Headshot with your own arrow. Get out of here. Thank you for all the stuff. And this is what I mean by making plays. You're gonna go out there. You're gonna find a naked. He's gonna be loaded with stuff. Because guess what? That just saved me probably a hour's worth of work doing all that. Yeah, so if you see somebody, even if they're naked, I mean, a game's a game. You gotta do what you gotta do. But I just hit the jackpot. Got a couple thousand of that. Got some comps, you know, all the basics. All right, and then I went out and got my last little 17 for my low-grade fuel. Then you go through and make yourself a little furnace. Then once you get your furnace up and running, that's when the fun starts. So you take that stuff, looks like some potatoes or something. Then once your furnace is made, go ahead and plop that bad boy down. That's one thing, you cannot pick up your campfires. So if you do need to move your campfire, you just go ahead and destroy it because it's really not that important. And then you can actually go through and just make another one. It's cheap. But yeah, you don't have to worry about campfires. Then you go ahead, throw down the furnace. Boom. Throw some wood in there. That. And then you just sort of let it go for a while. Now you're going to want to split the actual metal up, because if you split it up into thirds, it makes it so it actually cooks a little bit faster. It depends on the server though, so normally I say try and just split them up the best you can. Alright, then what you're going to want to do is you go through, you make yourself a metal door. Once you get yourself your metal door crafting, you got about 20 some seconds. Once you do get it crafted, you're going to want to go ahead and make yourself a lock as well. But I already have a lock made on my front door, so when I remove the front door, it's going to make it so I just use that lock. But looks like my door is almost made. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bada bing. Alright, close that. Now you're going to want to do this, unlock, remove lock. Then when you open it, you hold U, which is E. It'll pick that door up. Throw the sheet metal door down. Go ahead, slap the lock back on it. Locker. And boom, you're good to go. Now you're even more secure. Because wood, they can actually come through and they can break it down with yokas. Or they can just blow it up. I mean, it takes way less. But now with that metal door, it takes 4 satchels to break through that. So pretty much if you got a stone base and a metal door, you're good for raids for like the first few hours. And you don't got to worry about anything. Alright, so then once you got some metal, you're going to want to have a little bit of metal and a little bit of wood. And then that's what you're going to use to make this bad boy. It's a large wood box. Now a large wood box can hold a lot more than a regular box. So you're going to want to get these ASAP just so you got somewhere to store everything. There we go. Wood box is done. And then you just go ahead and throw it down. I like to just kind of make it so you just walk on it. Because, I mean, it makes it so it fits a little bit better. But I wasn't liking how it was looking over in this corner. So I kind of took it. In a couple seconds here, I'll get sick of trying to place it. There we go. And then just set it right up next to this. Slap it up against a wall. And, I mean, I'm no expert, but it works. And then you just go ahead and fill that sucker up. And right here, I was actually going through, and I was just doing some basic stuff. Heard somebody running around. Thought I'd go check it out. I came over and just, nothing. Yeah, it was a little rusty right here. That right there would have hit if it wouldn't have hit the hill. I swear. I mean, hopefully. So I came up the hill because I was already shooting at him. I can't just stop now. See him over to the right, kind of misdirection him, go up. And slap. And nope. Quit jumping. There you go. See you later, buddy. Sorry, give me all your stuff. And he didn't have anything. But still, domed him. And if you hit a headshot on somebody that's naked, usually 9 times out of 10 you'll get him down. Alright, so this is a little bit later. I was just running around and I heard a lot of noise coming out from sewer over here. So I was like, I'm going to go check it out. And sure enough, there's a ton of people over here. And pretty much they're all just shooting at each other. They got SMGs, SARs, pretty much anything you could think of. So I didn't have anything else to do. I was like, you know what? Let me go see if I can cherry pick one of these. So you got to remember, I don't have anything. Like, if you look at my inventory, I ain't even got a bow on me. So I went over here just 100% naked just to see if I could grub some stuff. Because, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. And I don't have a gun yet. So if I can just pick up one of these guns and make it out of here, I can go research it. And then once I get the appropriate workbench, then I can go through and make my own guns. So it's a lot of sneaking around. You can just tell, though, I'm like, I don't want to get seen, and I know they're right there. So you can see the footprints on the ground, and I'm going to run over, and as I'm running over, I see somebody, so I kind of like lay back a little bit. Oh, get shot at. Number one rule is, though, I love hiding in bushes. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to pay attention and come search the bush. So you just kind of sneak around a little bit, do your little bada bing, come over here. Oh, there's another one. Better get in the bush. And I kid you not, you could hide in this bush the entire fight. Guaranteed nobody's going to see you. Like, I don't know what it is about bushes. Oh, there's somebody. That's another thing. Even when you're crouching, if you go through a bush, it's going to make some noise, which is going to tell them where you're at. So you just kind of got to not move and pray to God. I don't know what else to do. Like, now I'm in it. There's no backing out. You're just kind of stuck in the fight. But if you know your way around, you kind of look. Nothing. Look over here. Don't really see anything. Stand up. Maybe. Okay, don't want to get shot by that. Nope, never mind. One more dude. And then at one corner. That's too many people. So you're just going to kind of hang out, I guess, not do anything. And once everything kind of dies down, you can see the one dude running around on the hill, and I know he's got something. There he goes, runs down the back of the hill. Oh, not leaving. And what you gotta do is you just kind of gotta weigh your battles. You gotta know, okay, can I win this? No? You got a rock and a torch? Well, guess what? You're probably gonna have to wait for everybody to disperse and leave the area. But there's always somebody that doesn't get picked. So then I'm just gonna look around, sort of double check, and move my way in, and then I just YOLO it. Just send it. I see dead bodies. I see one with a spacesuit. Spacesuits are good. And boom. You got yourself a blue card. I didn't even realize it, but I got a SAR out of that. Like, if I would have known I had a SAR, I would have left. I wouldn't even have checked that other body. So then I hurry up and get out of there. But that blue card's real nice because to get a blue card, you have to have a green card. And then you have to go do one of the puzzles for the green card. And then you get the blue card. Long story short, I still have this SAR. I skipped the SAR and pull out the crossbow just so I can try and get out of here. Homie's fighting, and I'm just like, yeah, he's good. He's going to leave me alone. Because as long as you can get far enough away to where they can't hit you, they'll just leave you. But yeah, that right there was a quick come up. Got a gun and a blue card. Didn't even know it. And I got a spacesuit. Go ahead, go in here and depot it. That's it. Alright, and thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Give your boy some help. New to this is one of my first videos. So any feedback would be great. Thanks you guys. See you next time.